Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter's Reality TV Recaps and Opinions, better known as. And that's my opinion with Peter Mon. So, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I don't want more of. I don't want more of Vanderpump Rules, and I don't want more of The Valley. That's what I'm going to tell you right now, okay? I'm so done. So, last night I watched Vanderpump Rules. I haven't told my husband yet that I watched Vanderpump Rules last night. We usually watch it together. Sometimes we watch it together, sometimes we watch it apart. But we didn't watch it, well, he didn't watch it last night. He went to bed because he had to be at work early this morning. So I was like, okay, well, I want to watch The Valley. So I said, are you going to watch The Valley? And he goes, I'm not going to watch The Valley. You can watch it by yourself. So I went on to, what is it on? The Peacock or the Paramount or whatever. I think it's on the Peacock to see if it was out yet. And it wasn't out yet. And so I was like, damn it, Janet. This was at like 12:15. I thought it came on at 12. I think maybe it comes on at 3 or something like that. But we had recorded it on our cable, right? And so I was like, well, I didn't record The Valley. So I was like, oh, hell's bells. I'll just watch, I'll watch Vanderpump Rules, and then I'm ready. Because I heard that there was, like, some huge crossover, okay, from Vanderpump Rules into The Valley. So I was like, well, that'll prepare me. Well, I start watching it, and what I didn't realize was that I was like, this is a 2-hour episode of Vanderpump Rules. Oh, my God. Do we need any more Scandoval? I am so over it at this point. I feel like I am just like, you know, like the ice bucket challenge when people just get like drenched. I feel like that's how I feel listening to the Scandoval stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, okay? We all know at this point that this is like the taking down of Ariana and the redemption of Scandoval, which is so funny because if you guys remember, like, there was like one episode where Ariana found out about Tom and then the reunion. And then they started filming like 3 months later or something like that. And everybody's like, she's had so much attention. Ariana got one episode and a reunion. Okay, so now we need to bring her down a few notches is what everybody says. But that's for a whole other video, what I think about all that kind of stuff. Because I think they know to make this show last, which I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have much faith in Vanderpump Rules or The Valley lasting. I definitely don't have faith in The Valley lasting past one season. Okay, it's bad. I'm going to tell you what it's like in just a second, but it's real bad. So I used to like do these candle reviews on one of my other channels, and I'd like hold up a candle and I'd say, oh, this smells like sitting on a beach. And not just that though, but it was always like sitting on the beach and the person next to you. Why did I sound like Jennifer Coolidge there for just a second? I don't know why. A real bad impression of Jennifer Coolidge. This is like sitting on a beach and having a hot dog. Now I can't get Jennifer Coolidge out of my head. I don't sound like her at all, I know. And having copper tone lotion. But anyway, I'll tell you what The Valley's like in just a second, okay? So I watched Vanderpump Rules last night. I'm so bored of it. I am so bored. What did Lala do to her hair? I like Lala a lot, okay? But, like, is she wearing a... You know, like, when you watch, like, a TV show, like, you know, and, like, there's an actor in the TV show, but then they're, like, in a movie, and they have to get a haircut for the movie, so in the TV show, they start wearing a wig. I'm like, is Lala... Like, it's not a wig. She got her haircut. It's an interesting haircut. It's interesting. If I say anything else, people will be like, oh, you're coming for her. But, I mean, it's a choice. It's a haircut, you know? If you go look on awkward family pictures, you'll see lots of hair choices. But anyway, and I know it's not a wig, and I know it's a hair choice because I saw the same haircut on The Valley. But I love Lala. I think Lala is gorgeous, and I think she's beautiful. I didn't understand the hairdo. But anyway, so I watched the whole thing. I'm so bored of Vanderpump Rules. The whole thing is all about the redemption arc of Tom Sandoval and him not being able to get over Raquel Rachel, and then Ariana, bad Ariana. Bad that you should be upset with your ex for having a 7-month affair with somebody that you consider like a little sister best friend, and they kept it from you, and they were doing it in your house. Did you ever watch a Lifetime movie about Betty Broderick that killed her ex-husband and his new wife, okay? She like shot him, killed him in their house, right? Because he left her for somebody else. I think it's fair to say that Ariana, I was going to say Grande, always, listen, why be a Grande when you can be a Trenta? I think we can give Ariana Madix at least a year to be pissed off about it, okay? That's called PTSD when you go through something like that, when you can't trust anybody around you because you have been so fucked over by the person that you've been with for like 8+ years, okay? And lived in a home, and owned a home, and all that kind of stuff together, and pets, and whatever else, right? And people are like, oh, she needs to get over it. Her friends are like, well, you need to get over it, blah, blah, blah. I want to be friends with that person. She's saying she don't want to be friends with you. She's saying, I don't want to be friends with somebody that condones somebody treating me that way. I think that's completely fair. And I get it, right? I wouldn't want to be friends with Tom Sandoval anyway. I'll be honest with you. You know, this is the thing that we don't ever talk about with Ariana and Tom Sandoval, is that I have to be real honest, in the 10 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, and what, I think Ariana was on 7 or 8 of them, I really was not that interested in Ariana. I mean, true story, I wasn't. She's okay. I thought sometimes she was kind of rude and kind of cold, but I didn't really think that much about her until this happened to her. And I thought, because people were speculating and saying something. She's like, oh, no, you know, there's nothing going on. I trust Tom, whatever. And, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel bad for Ariana. I do, okay? I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about Tom Sandoval, okay? I'm Team Ariana all the way, okay? Pull up your man pants, run on the treadmill with your weights some more, okay? And pull it together a little bit. You fucked over your ex, okay? Like, just own it, take some responsibility for it, and be a man about it. You know, he's having these parties. I thought, first of all, I thought Billie Lee didn't want to be on Vanderpump Rules because everybody on Vanderpump Rules hated her. I thought she didn't want to be on it. Now she's on every scene she can be in with Tom Sandoval. That's real weird to me. Okay, you came so hard against Vanderpump Rules years ago, and now you want to come out and you want to be on Vanderpump? I'm confused about that. Can somebody explain that to me? But anyway, so I just have to be honest with you. Like, Ariana, like, she was okay. I just was like, oh, she's another character on the show. Tom Sandoval, can somebody please explain to me the attraction on how he gets so many women? I do not think there is an attractive bone in Tom Sandoval's body, okay? I'm not literally saying that I'm, like, walking down, you know, the runway as a fashion model, couture, or anything like that, okay? But there's nothing interesting to me about Tom Sandoval, all right? His music's not interesting to me. His looks aren't interesting to me. Shaving his forehead's not interesting to me. Nothing about him is interesting to me. I don't think he's good looking. I actually think he's, my opinion, okay? I don't think he's good looking at all, okay? Wouldn't touch him at all. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't think he has any personality either, right? And he always throws temper tantrums like he's a 4-year-old. So, you have the biggest scandal that has ever happened on Vanderpump Rules with the two most uninteresting people. That's what I think about Scandoval, if you want to know the truth. And I think, hey, listen to Ariana, you know, like, listen to her. Listen, Ariana, like, she's having to defend how much, she's like, I didn't make $1 million over it. If she did, so what? She got fucked over. She got betrayed on a level that you cannot even understand, okay? So if she wants to make $1 million off of it, I'd say more power to her. Sheena and Lala and all these other people were doing merch and talking about her on podcasts. You think Lala and Sheena and all them people and Brock, I don't know what Brock's job is, house husband or something like that. I don't hate him for it. I'd love to be Sheena Shea's house husband. Okay, call me up if it don't work out with you and Brock, because apparently she tells him she don't see herself with him forever. But listen, I love to be a house husband all day long. But no, true story, I would, because then I could maybe get on the Housewives and I could be a house husband. They don't have any house husbands on the Housewives, but I like to be one of those. But anyway, Lala Kent and Sheena Shea and all them, they didn't have no problem making money off their podcast talking about Ariana. Now they're pissed that she didn't make any money off Ariana, or that Ariana made money off of her own betrayal. I mean, are you kidding me? What anybody should be pissed about is that Sandoval is making money off of it. That's what they should be pissed about, you know? Why are they pissed about Ariana, that she made money off of some horrible shit that she went through in her life? More power to her. I hope she gets a rise up on it. She deserves that. And she deserves more than half a season of Vanderpump Rules, okay? Because we had to listen to that nauseating Raquel, Rachel, or whatever, and her engagement to James, and Rochella, and all that. I'm so, Rochella, I can't stand that girl. And don't tell me she is not that kind. She's like, oh, everybody was doing this against me. But, girl, listen, you were a grown-ass adult. You knew what was going on, okay? You did. You knew what was going on. You saw it. And you were trading up. You thought you were trading up. You thought you were trading up. If you go back and you watch season 10 of Vanderpump Rules, after Raquel and James have broken up, something comes over Raquel, okay? It's like, and she says in there, I'm not part of the beauty pageant system anymore. I've aged out, which means she can be whoever she wants to be. She can go after anybody's man. She don't care about her reputation anymore. You know, that's what it's all about. You can literally see the change come over Raquel in season 10. If you go back and binge watch it like I did, you can see it. And her wheels are turning. She knew what she was doing. Go back and watch the show, like Denise Richards says. Watch the show. So anyway, I'm watching this. I'm like, when are we doing this transition to the Valley? So at the very end, they bring on Jax Taylor, of course. You know, Jax Taylor's having dinner with Sandoval and Brock and Schwartzy and all that kind of stuff. And Jax and Scandoval start getting into it. You know, it's the same old thing as back then. Those are the days of Vanderpump Rules that I miss. And so they're getting into it. And then all of a sudden, Jax gets up and leaves. And all of a sudden, he's sitting on this chair, like in the diary room of Vanderpump Rules, getting interviewed. And then he gets up from that chair, and then he walks and he's on a couch on the Valley. And that's the transition. I thought it was kind of cute. Then they're going down streets, like leaving Sir, and then all of a sudden they're in the Valley, and that's the transition. I thought it was a real cute transition. I was like, is Vanderpump Rules over for the week? I'm confused. Is Vanderpump Rules over and now we're into the Valley? I'm confused. So I started watching this Valley last night. Oh my God, first of all, listen, you're going to get some real opinions over here, okay? This is fucking reality TV. These people signed up for it. Jax Taylor's an influencer. We let everybody know it now. A lot of things have changed. I'm an influencer. I have 36 cameos to do. Brittany, you have a lot to do today too, don't you? I'm like, this show is so vapid, okay? Which is really what I love about reality TV, but it's boring. I mean, it is really boring. First of all, I went into this show thinking, how did that gay best friend of Brittany's get on this show as like a main character? I think his name's Jesse or something like that. But I have to be honest with you, he is saving the day, okay? Because his little jokes and stuff like that, he's about the only personality on this show. Let me tell you a little story, okay? You know, like when you get older and, like, you know, you stop going out to the bars and stuff like that, and you decide you want to settle down and all that kind of stuff. So, like, you settle down, you, like, you know, you stop going out, you Netflix and chill on the weekends, you know, you go out and you get food, and then all your friends, they start settling down, you go to a bunch of weddings and stuff like that. That's like in your like early to mid 30s. And then everybody starts having kids, and they do sports on Saturdays, and then like maybe one day on a Saturday, somebody will be like, hey, why don't you come over, you know, we're going to grill some hot dogs and hamburgers out, and everybody comes over there. Nobody really drinks a lot because they got to, you know, go relieve the sitter and stuff like that. And so they just, like, hang out there by a little bit, and they talk about things that are real boring, like relationships and stuff like that, right? And then they go home, and then, you know, yeah, you watch some TV and you go to bed. Now, imagine watching that as a fucking reality TV show. Well, that's the Valley. That's the Valley. It is so boring. It is so boring, okay? And the reason why they needed Jax Taylor and Kristen Doute for the show is because they're the only drama on the show. The entire first episode was about the fact that Kristen Doute, that she is with this new boyfriend who seems so nice, and apparently Jax Taylor doesn't like him for some reason. He calls him Luke Colorado because the guy's from Colorado. Well, I do that with people too. I love a good nickname for people, but he calls him Luke Colorado. I think the guy's real nice. I think it's actually the nicest guy that Kristen's ever dated. And so anyway, I think he might be good for her. And so Kristen's at this point where she's 40 and she wants to have a baby, right? And Jax cannot handle it. Jax is like, she's not ready to have a kid. Why is she having? I mean, he goes nuts. The whole episode is all about Jax. I don't know, like, is he still doing it with Kristen Doute and things like that? Well, I'll just be honest with you, okay? None of them on this show, okay? And I used to love these people. From Kristen Doute to Brittany to Jax. Well, Jax might be the only one that kind of looks good because he knew this reality TV was coming on, right? So he's been working out at the gym because he's got nothing else to do because he's an influencer doing cameos. So he's been at the gym every single day, right? But the rest of these people in this show, well, actually, there's a Miss USA. She's married to this guy that does voiceovers for The Walking Dead or something. I didn't really get it. Her name's Nia or something like that. She's beautiful. Some of these people, it's like, you know, you don't really want to see that. It's like, I don't know why some of y'all are watching a 51-year-old man making YouTube videos. It's kind of like that. Like, sometimes it's kind of like sad. You don't really want to watch that. It's like, I watch these people, you know, on Vanderpump Rules. Well, I just binge watched it, so it's probably 3 months ago. But I was watching them when they were in their 20s. They're not in their 20s anymore. And it's like watching people grow up right in front of you. It's kind of sad, right? And then they get like, and I don't know, the whole thing's weird. Brittany has this state fair party or something like that for her friend Janet. She's got personality. I like this Janet on the show. This other guy, Jesse, he is like stone cold and so rude. And he'll actually make for probably good TV. This Janet's husband, Jason, I think his name is. He's real boring. He ain't gonna do anything for the show. Kristen Doute's boyfriend, Luke, he's real boring. He won't do anything for the show. The other couple, they're both boring. They won't do anything for the show. And it's all these people bringing their kids to this backyard barbecue, and you're like, why am I fucking watching this? And the only reason that Kristen and Jax are on this show is because they need them for the show. And you want to ask me right now if I think that Brittany and Jax split up and that is PR for the show? Fucking 100%. This show is so boring. Nobody is watching to see, unless they're watching to see if Brittany and Jax are actually going to get divorced. That's the only reason you'd stay around for this show. This show is a bore ass. It is so boring. Sheena and Lala showed up at the barbecue. Have you ever been at one of these backyard barbecues before? It's like a birthday party, like a kid's birthday party at 2 o'clock. They'll probably have those on there too. 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, you're like, oh, fuck, this ruins my whole Sunday afternoon. I gotta go to this kid's birthday party, right? You're at this kid's birthday party. And this friend shows up that you haven't seen in like 10 years. Like, let's just call her Judy Smith or something like that because I love that name. And Judy shows up and she comes in the door and you're like, oh my God, it's fucking Judy Smith. Thank God Judy Smith is here. I'm watching this. Sheena Shea, Brock, and Lala show up. And I'm like, oh my God, the day has been saved. I was like so happy to see them at this barbecue. I was so happy. And they actually like put their names on there. Sheena, Brock, like we don't know who they were. We didn't just watch them the hour before. I'm like, thank God they were there. But then some weird stuff comes out. Like Brittany is talking about, she's talking with these other women. They're all like nursing their babies and holding their babies and their kids are having play dates and stuff. That's what it is, y'all. I mean, it is boring, okay? I mean, it's not boring because you live it. I mean, that's my life with all my friends, but I don't want to watch that on TV, you know? But Brittany's talking about how Jax doesn't like Kristen's boyfriend, Luke, and that Kristen was just dating this other guy, and that when they were at Sheena and Brock's wedding, I was like, well, we didn't see you at Sheena and Brock's wedding on Vanderpump Rules. Oh, now Jax is good enough to be on his own show. Kristen Doute's good enough. Kristen was at Sheena Shea's and Brock's wedding, too. They say it on the show. But we didn't see them on that wedding. Oh, so Vanderpump Rules put that in the edit. Don't you think that would have brought a little bit more attention to Sheena Shea's wedding if we would have seen... Now, people are going to be like, oh, yes, they were. I'm going to be like, well, I don't remember them being there. I remember Schwartz giving a kiss to Raquel and all of them sitting inside eating dinner watching the wedding because Katie was going to go to the... Well, you remember all that? Okay. So anyway, this show is so boring. I don't really care. I don't care who Kristen's with. Listen, she wants to be a mom. More power to her. I think she should, okay? Have all the kids you want to have, Kristen, okay? Jax is sitting there basically saying that Kristen shouldn't be having kids. And I'm thinking, you're somebody to be passing judgment on who should be a parent? When we already know that your wife is living in an Airbnb with your son down the street for PR or because you guys just can't get along or because you're cheating because there's always cheating allegations. It's boring, y'all. And I don't think it's... at first, when I saw Lala and Sheena and Brock show up, I thought, oh, this is going to be the transition because Vanderpump Rules is failing. So they're going to bring Sheena and Brock over to live in the Valley, and then Lala's going to get a house in the Valley, and then they're going to slowly bring them over and get rid of some of these boring couples, and then it'll be like Vanderpump Rules lives in the Valley. But it's so boring. I don't think the Valley's going to make it past one season. I'm hopeful. I mean, I watched the trailer for the season. You know, like when you watch a trailer and you get real excited? Like even the mid-season trailer of Vanderpump Rules, it was kind of a little bit exciting, right? I watched a trailer, the 3-minute trailer for the rest of the season of The Valley, and I was like, it's all these people just pregnant and laying in bed with their kids, being bored with their lives and not being happy and wanting to get divorced. That's what it is. I mean, that's called real life. Who wants to watch that? That's half my girlfriends calling me up on the phone. Why do I want to watch that in reality TV? They should have called it just Jax and Kristen and moved them into an apartment and let them fight for a whole hour. I would have watched that any day. This Valley is so boring. And then there's one couple, they're like, yeah, we don't live in the Valley. The Valley is like, nobody wants to live in the Valley. I'm like, so 3 of these couples out of the 4 don't live in the Valley. It's literally like Jax and Brittany, and she's like, oh, aren't you so happy that her friends live right down the street? And they're friends. Those are the 2 people. Kristen doesn't even live in the Valley anymore. She lives in an apartment. She done sold her house in the Valley because her ex-boyfriend, Alex or whatever, he told her, and then she moved in, and 5 months later they were broken up, such as the life of Kristen Doute. None of them live in the Valley except for Brittany and Jackson's one other couple that they probably got to get into the show just so they could call it the Valley, because if they didn't, they'd have to call it whatever street Jax and Brittany lived in. It's boring, y'all. It's so bad, okay? But I'm gonna keep watching it for you, okay? Because that's my job. I report on these things. So anyway, if you watch it, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.